Hello, happy Monday. I'm starting to think I should call this thing actually like the mini faces of Sarah because now you get to see me in all my post-workout glory. Yay! This week I should not have had that glass of wine that I had on Tuesday. In addition to other things, I think it probably prompted my bronchitis to resurface. I get bronchitis every year. Usually from a head cold turning into upper respiratory infection, and then it just settles and stays there. So I know what to do by now to kind of head it off. That's what I've been dealing with mostly. I have a callback on Friday for that audition that I had on Tuesday. It went okay. I honestly think that my initial audition was better, although I did have a couple of one-liners that had the auditors laughing, which was nice. I think the chemistry that I had with my first audition partner was far better than the chemistry I had with these two girls. To be honest, we were sitting around and waiting for an hour and a half, which isn't cool. Actually, a lot of people ended up having to leave because they had their appointment scheduled and then they had to go to work. And that's a real problem. So I waited around for an hour and a half and was finally seen, and it was okay. I did not think that I blew them out of the water. I think you have to take the little wins when they come to you because this industry is so full of rejection and it is so full of people bullshitting each other and saying, oh yeah, you're great. Or, when you go to audition and you get fantastic, thank you very much, without any legitimate feedback. Getting a callback is a form of feedback, and it lets you know you're doing something right. I don't get a whole bunch of them. I'm starting to get more, which is great, but I don't get nearly as many as I would want. So getting one when I'm sick, when I don't feel like I'm looking my best physically, just boosted everything, and it was great. Moving on to the class on Sunday, we worked on our scenes. We warmed up with a cold reading, and it was a much longer cold reading than we had done the previous week. It was from The Good Wife. Because there are more men in the class, she picked a scene with a guy, although really in this day and age, it could easily be a lesbian couple up on that screen, so it doesn't really matter for the class that I was playing a male character. And then for the rest of the class, we worked on our scenes. I worked with my scene partner on the Silver Linings playbook. It was 3/4 memorized. She had never said we had to come in with it memorized. I probably should have for a class setting just to give it my all, but I didn't. I was very familiar with it, and by the end of our rehearsal or us working with Blair, I definitely had it memorized, but I probably should have gone in with it so I could just focus on learning. Blair wanted us to look at it as a table read and, gave us the warning that in film there's a 3-day grace period, and if you come in for that first table read and you don't have your shit together, they can fire you and not be in breach of contract. So have your shit together is the moral of that little story. So this week, I think the most important thing that I learned was that a character's history and backstory are incredibly important, even in an audition setting, especially in an audition setting, because you have to show that you can bring all that at a moment's notice and that you understand at least part of the character without having anyone directing you. We touched on that both in the cold reading and in Silver Linings Playbook. In the cold reading, the character was a man who had been accused of murdering his wife, and he was about to be taken into custody. And there are emotional clues in the sides that say that he didn't do it. So you have to bring the fact that the person you love is dead. You've been accused of murdering them. You don't have a chance to grieve. Gotta bring all that in. And then in Silver Linings Playbook, Jennifer Lawrence's character, Tiffany, has a whole history before she meets Pat, and Pat has a whole history before he meets Tiffany. They are coming at their interactions from very different places. We also looked at creating the arc of a character within a scene. Those clues of knowing like when you have power and when you don't, when you're fighting for it. The diner scene is very much about Tiffany having power and knowing when she's going to kind of fuck with Pat because she's angry about the situation, about thinking it was a date, and it very clearly not being a date. The goal for next week is to have it completely memorized, to have it chunked out into beats, come in fully prepared as if we were on set and going to shoot it. So that will be fun. I gotta bring all the props and gotta dress up a little bit and everything like that. Oh, I also had another audition Sunday before class for a student film. I think it was a student film. It was definitely a short film. Sometimes student films masquerade as short films on casting notices. I have an audition coming up this week with a casting director that cast me in two things previously, so working on that relationship is always fun. And other than that, it's kind of a play it by ear week, which is fine. That's usually what happens in my life. I say, I don't know, I'm on call. Sometimes they call me at 7 o'clock in the morning and say, can you go to this place? And I'm like, yeah, sure, great. And sometimes I don't get a call at all. Today was okay not working because I had a lot of other things to do. So I hope you guys have a great week, and thank you for taking the time to watch all of these. It really means a lot. Bye!